What's up, my peeps and my geeks? How y'all doing today? I am Ben, the Every Person Geek. That's Max, the Every Person Cat. Today we're going to get into Spider-Man No Way Home coming up right now. Alright, so let's get into it. Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, there are going to be spoilers in this video. If you have not watched the movie, do not watch this video. Put it in your watch for later, or, go on your watched recently thing after you have seen the movie. Because there are going to be spoilers in this video. No watchy video if you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home. Seriously, because I don't want you guys getting mad at me for giving you spoilers if you have not seen it. I avoided spoilers all weekend. Just letting you know. Alright? If you're still here, let's get into it. Alright? So, Spider-Man No Way Home, I have to say, was a great movie. Okay? The reason why I'm saying that it was a great movie, not only was it a good storyline and everything was well placed, but biggest spoiler of all, they had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this movie. It was just so freaking awesome, unbelievably awesome. I mean, when I first saw Andrew come up, Andrew was never my favorite Spider-Man. My list usually goes Tobey, Tom Holland, and then Andrew Garfield. I don't know. I just never felt Andrew Garfield was, there for me. But in the movie, when Andrew Garfield, Ned did the portal thing and Andrew Garfield came through, I was like, all right, so there's one. Come on. Let's see the others. So, and then, they said, all right, I'm searching for a Peter Parker. And then Tobey comes out. Oh my God, I loved it. And I got to say, I really enjoyed how they did the three Spider-Man, by the way. I like how, Tobey Maguire was like a Miyagi, the veteran Spider-Man to Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I like how they still kept Andrew Garfield as the wild card. To me, it was always like a wild card Spider-Man. And the whole thing where, again, spoilers, they're abundant. The whole thing where, when they were talking about the people that they lost, he said that he went really dark and stopped pulling his punches and stuff like that. I think that just showed more of his character because I could see his Spider-Man doing that. You know what I mean? So I think they did a really good job on the three Spider-Man in this movie. And the thing that I really liked about this movie was it enabled Tom Holland to come into his own Spider-Man. Now, with Homecoming and Far From Home, Homecoming, you had Stark in it, and you had Iron Man help being like a mentor to him, helping him out with the Stark tech and stuff like that. And then you had in Far From Home, Nick Fury with Mysterio, and it never felt like he was like a true Spider-Man, I mean, you had a billionaire helping him out, and then you had the Shield helping him out. It was just, and the way Tom Holland was playing Spider-Man was more of, an innocent, naive type of Spider-Man, which not too many other things have done. So with this movie, the way they made Tom Holland come into his own Spider-Man, I think they did a really good job of it. And to sidetrack for a second, Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, is in this movie, guys. He does play Tom Holland's lawyer, Peter Parker's lawyer, in like almost the first, I think it was a half hour, 40 minutes of the movie. We get to see Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, which I think is phenomenal. Now, we don't see him with the suit on or anything. He's just, lawyer and everything. And the scene that he's in is phenomenal. It's such an awesome scene. And for the fact that we get that now, and Charlie Cox is now in the MCU officially and not just through Netflix or something like that, because with the Netflix series, like let's say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right, when it was on TV, they had a link to the MCU. You know, with the helicarrier and the people that they fought, they mentioned things in the show that happened in the movies and stuff like that. With the Netflix series, the only thing that they really talked about related to the MCU was the attack on New York. Okay, and that was it from Avengers 1. And there was nothing really else in that Netflix series for any of the characters Netflix did related to the MCU. So now that we get Charlie Cox in an actual MCU connected movie, I think is phenomenal. I think he did the best portrayal. Well, between Ben Affleck and him, he definitely did the best portrayal of Daredevil, and I cannot wait to see what they do with that. I'm really excited to see this come to fruition. Okay, now getting back to Spider-Man. With Spider-Man No Way Home, I think they, like I said, they did an awesome job with this movie and making it basically Spider-Man coming into being Spider-Man. Now, I can't remember from either Homecoming or Far From Home him ever mentioning Uncle Ben or, what happened to Uncle Ben or anything else like that. But in this movie, spoiler, Aunt May dies. Okay? And she gets killed by the Green Goblin. Okay? Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Which, again, spectacular performance on the behalf of Willem Dafoe. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this guy. The way he portrayed Green Goblin in this movie was far more menacing than it was in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. It was just phenomenal. But with this movie, they actually made it to where Tom Holland is coming into his own Spider-Man, and instead of having the death of Uncle Ben impact him to be the true Spider-Man, it was actually Aunt May, okay, because she gives him that whole, with great power comes great responsibility, and to see the part where Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland are all trying to, relate to each other as far as the loss of someone close to them, it was just such a touching part. It's such a touching scene in the movie. And even now, again, I wasn't a big fan of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I really wasn't. But in this, I am now a fan. The emotion that guy portrayed when he was talking about Gwen Stacy and losing her. Wow. Just simply phenomenal acting ability from him. And in all honesty, with this movie, really made me like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. And in all honesty, I wish they would have came out with a third one because I think he would have done phenomenally with it. Now, however, with the way this movie ended, they could possibly come out with a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 and also an Amazing Spider-Man 3 because of the way they ended this movie. They can create their own Spider-Verse for Sony separate from the MCU with these two characters, or even possibly a third. Okay, because there is a possibility that, we might wind up getting a Miles Morales or something like that in the MCU. Who knows? Or like a Spider-Gwen or something like that. But again, who knows what might happen with that. But as far as Sony itself, they could definitely create an actual Spider-Verse, with those two Spider-Men, So in this movie, we see all the villains: Doc Ock, Lizard, Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, okay? And in the previews, we see, we got to send them back, to live out their fate that they're going to die. Well, Spider-Man wants to cure them instead. And he does wind up doing it. And again, the portrayal of Green Goblin from Willem Dafoe, again, was phenomenal. I mean, we didn't really know how strong this guy was in the original Spider-Man movie. In this movie, there's a scene where Tom Holland Spider-Man is fighting with the Green Goblin inside Happy's apartment complex, and Green Goblin is just like tossing Spider-Man like a rag doll all through this building, crushing through floors and ceilings and stuff like that. I mean, this is phenomenal work that they're doing right now with with this movie. Um, and once they get to the ground floor, Aunt May's trying to escape, and Goblin gets his glider and like clips her, and and because of that, she winds up dying. And you see the heartache in Tom Holland's, expressions, his acting. I think he did that really well, and it's very expressive and very, just awesome. I think they did such an awesome job with this movie. It was phenomenal. Um, so then you get the fight at the Statue of Liberty where they're trying to attach this shield, and Doctor Strange finally comes back, and we see the cube that the spell is held into, and the cube breaks open because of the Green Goblin. It basically gets blown up, and the spell gets out of hand, and it starts opening up all these parallel universes, and you see through the cracks all these different silhouettes of characters that supposedly know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because that's what the spell was done. It was like anyone that knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker was getting pulled into that universe. So we see silhouettes of like the Rhino, Kraven the Hunter, which is getting his own movie. I think I saw Scorpion. I'm not sure. Okay, but it was silhouettes, so it was hard to see. Then during the fight on the Statue of Liberty, there was this one part, and I gotta say, again, with the emotion, it was incredible. So we all see in the trailer that MJ is falling from the Statue of Liberty, and Tom Holland notices it, and like he goes to try to save her, but Green Goblin's glider with him on it comes and grabs him, and she's still falling. And Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man jumps out, grabs her, spins his web, lands safely on the ground. First thing he says, "Are you okay?" And you see the tears in his eyes start to well up, because he finally got some closure on the whole Gwen Stacy thing. He finally saved, a love. It may not have been his love, but a person that that a Spider-Man cared about. And you just saw that emotion in his face and in his heart and everything else. And it was just such an awesome scene. I just, it was just so good. I can't wait to see it again, because I'm going to want to take my stepdaughter to see it. So, or all three stepchildren. I don't know if they'll want to see it, but I can't wait to see it again. It was just such a great movie. And also, just so you guys know, another spoiler. If you guys have not seen Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which was an okay movie. The first one was actually better, which isn't saying much. End credits of Let There Be Carnage. Venom gets transported into into the MCU universe briefly, because of the fact that Venom is part of a hive mind that crosses universes. So because of the Venom that was in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire and Topher Grace, that Venom's knowledge of who Spider-Man is crossed over into the Tom Hardy universe, that made that Tom Hardy universe cross over into the Tom Holland universe, and then blip back when they were done with the movie. But here's the thing. There was a little piece of Venom left over at the bar that he was in the Tom Holland universe. So, in this movie, Tom Holland's Spider-Man lost the Stark technology. No more Stark suits, no more Stark, goggles, the Iron Spider, no more of that. Because at the end of the movie, Tom Holland made the choice to have everybody forget that he is Spider Man. So no one no longer knows. So there's no more access to Stark technology. At the end of the movie, you see him going into a one bedroom, not even, I think it was like a studio apartment, where I really wish they would have had Mr. Davonovich, rent. That would have been awesome. That would have been the icing on the cake, in all honesty. But they didn't have that. But they still had the guys, make sure you have the rent on the first of the month and everything. So that was kind of cool. However, because Spider-Man no longer has any access to that technology, you see him basically sewing machine his own suit, and he goes out into the city and starts swinging around and stuff like that. So without the access, again, of the Stark technologies, the little piece of Venom, we're setting up for a good instance of the whole Secret Wars and him accepting the powers of the black suit, because he doesn't have the. So if they would have kept him with the Stark technologies and Venom, the symbiote, winded up coming up and trying to attach to him and everything else like that, he would have been more receptive to get it off of him, because he has better suits anyway. Now he has a normal everyday suit, no real protection, no armor, nothing, no unlimited web or whatever the case may be, no specified web shooters except for the ones that he may have had, from before everything was taken away. Um, but it's going to make him more receptive to accepting the symbiote as a suit and have that whole personality change and stuff like that, and then come to the realization that he needs to get it off, blah blah blah. But I do think that, by them leaving that piece of Venom there, I think is a good bridge to set all that up in the future. Okay, now the post credit scene, yeah, the very last post credit scene was just basically a trailer for the Multiverse of Madness, which actually, if you guys haven't watched the What If series, gotta check it out if you're going to see Multiverse of Madness. Gotta check it out. That series is going to be very, very important to the Multiverse of Madness from what I saw from that trailer. So if you guys have not checked out What If, definitely go on Disney Plus and and watch that. All in all, I have to say Spider-Man No Way Home was one of the best Spider-Man movies I have seen. And I've watched all three Tobey Maguire. I've watched both Andrew Garfield's. I've watched Homecoming, Far From Home, and now No Way Home. And I got to say, geeks and peeps, this is the movie to watch. You guys got to get out there and see it. I know I gave you both basically the whole movie right here and now, but me talking about it is nothing compared to what it actually is. It really isn't any compared. And I had my hopes up pretty damn high for this movie. And for them not to let it down, I got to give Marvel and Sony thumbs up on this. They did an awesome job. And I hope you guys think I did an awesome job on this video. So, in conclusion, if you are enjoying this video, hit that like button. Please put down in the comments what you guys think of the video, what you guys think of the movie itself. Did you guys enjoy it? Do you think it is one of the best Spider-Man movies out there? Do you like the way they set up with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? And how about them able to keep it pretty much down on wraps about this stuff until the very last couple of weeks, when stuff starting to leak. But I think they did a really good job keeping everything down and hidden and, secretive and stuff like that. So, again, geeks and peeps, Let me know what you guys think of everything in the comments. I love to discuss it with you. I want to discuss it with you guys. I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys are enjoying my content, please hit that like button. And please hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more. All right? Thank you very much for watching, guys. And as always, may the odds ever be in your favor. Good luck to you. And again, thank you for watching.